digging when I first broke in, and I can't thank him enough for that. He's the first person who ever taught me how to go. Everybody back knows the story, but kind of long when I'm getting into that. But I just want to say thank you for coming out tonight to support him for this big night. He's going to be inducted into the Empire Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame tonight. I know I love him. I know all these guys in the ring love him. I know all of you love him. I can't think of a guy more deserving of him. So,
alright, so you are here tonight not only for our anniversary show, but like Jacob said here, is to give honor to a man who 20 plus years of his own life to entertain everyone who's sticking all around. Stryker had, he helped me live a dream that I had. I'm sorry, I'd say 10 years too late, but 30 ain't too bad to start out. But he believed in me, like he did in the other trainings. He put everything he had into us, and the discipline that we have is from him. And I can't begin to thank him enough for everything he's done for me, and still continues to do for me. Not only me, but everyone who's wrestling. Not only tonight, but everywhere else. He's always giving back. That's just who he is. So, from me, I'm not very sentimental person, guys. I suck ass myself. I'm not very sentimental. But for me, Stryker, thank you. Thank you for everything.
So my story with Stryker is a little bit different. In 2013, I believe, before I became a professional wrestler, I was a paramedic on my very first day on the ambulance. And we got a call for a lawnmower exploding and a guy having third-degree burns on, I believe, 60% of his body. And so that was my first call as a paramedic. I get there, I have to knock him down, give him drugs to put him under. I intubate him because he is burnt, his throat was burned, and his throat was literally closing up as I was watching it. So I intubated him, I called Tulsa Life Flight, I flew him out. Later I was told that the burn unit told him that whoever intubated him saved his life, and that was me. I had no idea who this guy was, and then 4 years later, a woman by the name of Anna Lynn gave me my first job in professional wrestling. I could not wrestle at that time because I had a traumatic brain injury and I had bleeding in the brain, so I couldn't do any bumps or anything at that time. So I started out on commentary, and I found out that Anna Lynn, her dad, had just had an explosion on a lawnmower. So I get to meet him 3 months later, and the first time I ever meet him, I just hug him and we just start crying. Because outside of wrestling, outside of the stuff that he's been doing 20-something years, I got to connect with him before any of that. And then 2.5 years ago, I go to Stryker, and I'm like, I want to be a professional wrestler. I was cleared by the doctor, and he took 3 days a week, every night after he got off work. He'd get off work late, and he would still meet me at the ring every single night. And he would train me and train me. I would screw up. He would reassure me. He'd train me. And I just finished up my rookie year, and I wrestled in 14 states in my rookie year. And none of that would have been possible without Robbie Baker, aka Stryker. He is one of the best, not just wrestlers, he is one of the best damn people that the state of Oklahoma has ever seen. And I guarantee you that we can pass this microphone around and every single person would have a wrestling story and a personal story to say about Robbie Baker. He's the man. We all know he's the man. And there's one more person that wants to talk before we bring Stryker out, and that's Bad Brad Michael. So Bad Brad, why don't you get on out here?
story with Stryker. And I don't want to take anything away from that, but I got a pretty awesome story with that man myself. Whew. My very first match, longer ago than I'm going to admit to you people here, Stryker was there. We took that long road trip to Clarksdale, Mississippi, and there's been no looking back ever since. Everything I've done in professional wrestling since then, everything that I've done in my life since then, Stryker's been there. I'm not going to tell you this number either, but he's a little bit older than me. And I'm old now, but back when I started, I was 16 years old. And that old man took me under his wings to where I lovingly called him my wrestling dad. And it doesn't get any truer than that. It doesn't get any more real than that. The relationship that we built through this business, through all the guys here and all the guys who can't be here tonight and those who aren't here anymore, it doesn't get any more real than that. So without further ado, everybody stand up on your feet and show some respect to the first inductee to the Empire Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame, the resurrector of reality, Stryker! Stryker Jr.
Look, I'll make this short and sweet. This man right here has been in for over 20 years. And I've been lucky enough to be at least 10 of them. Okay? Me and him have been in a lot of locker rooms together. We've got to do a lot of matches together. My first match here in Oklahoma was tagging with him. And unfortunately, his last match here in Oklahoma was against me. So without further ado, here you go.
How the hell do I follow that? First of all, I want to say thank you to somebody very special to me. Somebody that's probably going to kill me when I do this. Right over there is my beautiful wife. Today's her birthday, and she's sacrificing to be here for me. Can you sing a little happy birthday, please? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Leslie. Happy birthday to you. Thank God. Y'all bear with me, there's no telling what I'm going to say. Back in the beginning of 98, I decided that, I want to wrestle. I wanted to do it for years. I never did it. You know the story. Everybody's dream. Everybody sees it. The generation of, Mid-South wrestling, the Von Ransom world class. That was my gimmick. That's what we watched. That's what we did. And in February of '98, I went to Texas. I seen some wrestling going on. And I was with my mother and my sisters, and I was kind of feeling on that. I was adopted, so I didn't find my mother until I was 27. And I had 3 sisters, and I found out that when she was younger, my mother had been in a car wreck with somebody from the newspaper down there in Texas. And to get them out of trouble, they gave them free passes, press passes, so guess who got to go to the binary shows and take pictures all the time? And I'm like, wow, you're kidding me, this is what I want to do. So I'll go to another show in April, and I meet a guy from Tulsa, and I go to him and I say, look, man, I'm not a crazy fan, I really want to do this. He gives me a phone number to call. That's when I got a hold of Tom Jones. A lot of you guys remember Tom Jones. God bless that man, rest in peace. He looked at me, I'm 27 years old, I'm 320 pounds. I'm already got 2 shots against me right there. I'm almost past the window that I should be. I'm overweight, I'm out of shape. I'm married, got 2 kids. You know, I live 2 hours away. I had no friends in the business, I knew nobody, which made it hard, very hard. When I'm gonna throw a lot of you guys under the bus, when us old guys tell you that we got our asses whipped every day in training to prove that we wanted to be here, and it's no disrespect to none of you younger guys, but it was true. My first day, my nose busted up, I'm covered in blood, I can't walk. Why? Oh, you gotta be friends from guys from Tulsa, you're here because you're spying on us. There was only 2 federations, Mid-South and Oklahoma City, Oklahoma Pro and Tulsa, that's it. The only 2 places you worked in Oklahoma, and we hated each other. My first goal was to make it that first week in the training. I did it. My next goal was to make it 1 month and call it good. I did it. If you know me, I'm a little hard-headed, right? A little bit. A little bull-headed. My next goal is I'm going to make 1 match and call it good. Well, hell, here we are 24 years later. And I've always said it doesn't matter how I felt I did. It doesn't matter how I felt I acted. It matters how each and every one of you look at me and how I leave a mark on you in a good way, because if I'm not doing nothing positive, then I walk out the door and I'm done. Back in June, I walked out that door because in this ring, these guys have all surpassed me. They're doing a hell of a job, and there's nothing more I can do. Up here, I can still help, and I will. You know, this goes back, they say, well, you know, you see so many people nowadays that change gimmicks left and right, and I don't see it here. These guys have cemented in what they're doing. They're working hard to get their product over and doing great. I've been lucky because me and this man right here, you know, we came out with our names and we stayed. You know, now I'm not gonna lie, I was the Oklahoma striker. Don't say it very well. I had to go to Texas to drop that or be killed. But I was blessed beyond measure to keep the striker legacy going for so many years. You know, you evolve, but your gimmick is your product. It is you. And you guys are working so hard nowadays. You guys have so many more tools than we did. There was no going on, let me check my phone real quick and watch this match. It was none of that. It was, hey man, we go to the show. You got some matches on tape. Well, here's some of mine. Here's some of mine. Here's some of yours. You know, if you wanted to get magazines, you send them stuff. I was lucky enough, was it 2000? I was lucky enough that I was in Pro Wrestling Illustrated's Indie Guide. Okay, was it Professional Guide to Indie Wrestling or something like that? A friend of mine said, hey man, I gotta get your autograph in this magazine. I said, what magazine? He said, Pro Wrestling Illustrated. I said, oh, that's Match Striker from WWE. He goes, hey man, Floyd looking right at you. It's your picture. Oh wow, you know. Even though I don't have that magazine anymore, I had the first one sheet out of it. But as was mentioned earlier, you know, when I started this business, I had a son, 7, and I had a daughter who has been married, my daughter, Anna Lynn. A lot of people don't know that. And then again, I got another one. I got my youngest son, J. Cole. He's on the shelf right now. He'll be back. A lot of sacrifices have been made, but I'm telling you guys, every one of you fans, every time I stepped into this ring, I had one goal in mind, and that was to make you. If you spent your hard-earned money, 10, 15, 20, whatever you spent. My job was to make sure that you left your world at the door. Coming to my world, I put a smile on your face. I don't care if you were smiling because you were cheering at me or you were smiling because you were booing and throwing stuff at me. It didn't matter. I did this for y'all. I knew at my age I was going nowhere but here, but that's it. And as far as all these younger guys and anybody else, I came back and made a last run because I wanted to be here for y'all. I wanted to walk away a year ago, but my trainees were in a spot where if I left, they were going to be left behind, and I couldn't do that. My wife back there sacrificed a lot over the last 4 years because when she married me, she did not marry into wrestling. I was out, I was walking away. And did I mention being bullheaded? I felt like I couldn't walk away at times. I can, yeah, I can walk now. There's been times when life has thrown things at me and made me walk away. In late 2008, I was wrestling a young kid, barely any matches underneath him. Chair shot goes wrong. I hear a chair coming. I turn and I got hit in the face. Again, bullheaded. I think nothing of it. I go on down the road. We go to February 2009. I go to the doctor to see what's going on. He said, "Oh, you got a deviated septum. We'll get that cleared up. You'll be back in a couple weeks." Okay, cool. Let's do it, doc. Surgery started at 45 minutes. Great. Let's go. Let's get it done. 4 hours later after surgery, he comes in here and goes, "What did you do to yourself?" I said, "What are you talking about?" Because trust me, I never once told anybody I got hurt wrestling. He pulled up the x-rays, and the man who did it, my mother was with me. I was single at the time. She was in there with me. He pulls up the x-rays. He goes, "Look," he had marks all over his paper. And he said, "I stopped counting at 51. You had 51 fractures in your face." He said, "I repaired it as best I can. I drilled out the sinus cavities." He said, "If an airbag goes off in your face, it's going to kill you." He said, "So you got to walk away from wrestling. You got to walk away now because I know what you do." Well, as anybody knows, when your mother there and your mother looked you in the eye, she said, "Look at me now and tell me you're done." And I did. Fast forward 2 years, and a great brother of ours, Christopher Crowe, was killed in a car accident. My mom herself was on her deathbed. When we had the funeral, they were talking about doing a memorial. All of his best buddies were doing a memorial for him at the underground arena. And I made the decision right then, and I said, "I'm in." Mama Crow said, "We can have you in your house, we can have you do security." And I looked at her and said, "No, when I say I'm in, I'm in." And so I went back to the hospital in Tulsa to talk to my mother after the funeral. And I kind of lost my composure and I laid across her legs. She had no clue what I was doing, but she hugged me and she said, "Do what you got to do, baby. I know how you are." And so that was it. I tell you all that to tell you this. I know y'all heard this story before, and I'll quit harping on it. But I went to get my wrestling physical, and the doctor at the time, I've been using it for years, and literally it was just walking in, take my blood pressure, hand a piece of paper, he signs it, you're good, and I'm okay, no problem. My stomach was making all kinds of noises. I just lost a great friend. I'm fixing to lose my mom anytime now, and I just wasn't eating. And he said, "Your gallbladder's messed up. We got to go in here and take ultrasounds." I said, "Doc, I need this Saturday." It's like a Monday or Tuesday. "I need this Saturday. We can't do this." He goes, "I'll sign it." I just, so I'm not going over to do it. I can't do it. Anyway, long story short, he threw the clipboard to the side. He said, "I'm not signing your paper." So we walked across the hall. We got an ultrasound. The girl's phone rings, and she said, "Do you mind if I answer this phone?" I said, "No, go right ahead. I don't mind at all." As she's on the phone, her hand is still on my side, and she says, "Oh my God, I gotta go get the doctor." Walks out, he's in there. Cancer. I would have never known I had cancer if our brother wouldn't have lost his life and I wouldn't have got a physical done. Luckily, and just blessed, it was in my right kidney and left kidney. I lost my right kidney and part of my left kidney, but I'm here now. No medicines, no nothing. I'm fine, completely healed. And it's just by the grace of God and my brother. It never happened. I laid there in that hospital after my first surgery, and I looked up, and I was by myself in my room. I said, "God, if you get me through this, I'm getting back in that ring, and I'm tearing that son of a bitch up." I said, my cousin looked at me, and he said, "Wouldn't you rather be chased by death doing what you love than sitting at home and waiting for it to come up behind you and take you?" Yeah, we're not guaranteed nothing. I say something to my wife, I say this all the time, it makes her mad as hell. I said, I take just as much as risk driving to that show than as I do getting in that ring, so I'm not scared of it at all. Maddox come to me, wanted to wrestle. Cool. Come to me when you're serious. Come to me, we're talking about wrestling, he's hyped up. Dad, I gotta get in the ring, I wanna wrestle, you gotta train me. You want to wrestle? Yeah, man, it's so cool, you guys are killing it, man, I gotta be a part of that. You know, he grew up in it. I said, sweet, because when can we start? I said, when you're serious. One day he comes to me and says, I want to talk to you about something. I said, what? He said, Dad, I want to wrestle. I want to wrestle. I want to learn the business. I want to be like you guys. I said, no, I want to be like you. So I've been called many things for this, and people don't understand. I did not train this man. I got a hold of our OKBs, and one of the OKBs that lived in Tulsa at the time stepped up and said, I'll train you. People say, Striker, why did you do that? I wanted this man to earn his way, not behind me or in my shadow. I want him in the path that goes further than I've ever been in my life. Not because of who he is, but because of what he is and what he does. Same thing with Anna Lynn. I want to train. I'm not doing it. You got to learn. I know she does a great job re-announcing that, but she trained to wrestle too. Let's not forget that. Again, Jake? Well, Jake just had to walk in and out of school, so, I had no choice. No, Jake come to us, he was serious. I think he told Mom a long time where he told me, and he finally come in and did it, but he's done a great job. He just had previous surgery, he's coming back, he'll be good to go. The trainees, Leo, we talked about a lot of things we did. And he talked about the explosion. He's the guy to pick me up, and amazing how God crossed our paths way before we were getting started. And he took to me, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, but before he came to me, he'd been to a few other places, a few other people training. And there's nothing wrong with that. All I asked this man to do is when he walked into my ring to give me a blank canvas to paint on, and let's leave everything behind. And he did that. And look at him, he's doing great. He's doing a great job. He's traveling, he's listening, and everything. Adrian Vega. He come to us nervous. He come to us listening to too much negativity from people. He was ready to rock and roll at the time I was walking away a year ago, and all of a sudden, there's no other way to say it, all hell kind of broke loose. He was told he wasn't ready, and I couldn't accept that. I talked to my brothers here at Empire. We've known each other, me and Kevin, 20 years probably, go back. He said, why don't y'all come home? First thing I said to Kevin was, we'll come home, but don't you treat these boys any different because they're with me. Because if you don't get on to them, I'm getting on to you. And you all can see how much Adrian Vega's done now, right? He's done a hell of a job. These guys have done an amazing job. All of them. Dominic Whiteheart, Angel Reed, Darren Bain, these guys got out and just kicked butt and took it apart, made me proud. So when you hear me say my kids, there's no telling who I'm talking about. They're all my kids. This means the world to me. September of '98, I had my first match up the road, 25th and Robinson at the old Yellow Theater, which became the Induction Arena. I never thought I'd go as far as I've done, did what I did, 24 years, nearly 30 titles, God knows how many miles, even with this pool. We've done a lot of traveling, a lot of road trips, and it was an unspoken rule that we were roommates no matter where we went. But we always looked after each other. A lot of people say this, and I'm gonna let my old man start here, but social media killed a lot of things. And be careful what you guys do on social media because a lot of you guys are going to make it further than this, and when you do, don't you think for a second they ain't going to dig in your stuff. There's a lot of people looking to pick contracts on y'all sometimes, and the first thing they do is look at your stuff, and all of a sudden the contract goes away, and you have no clue why. I promise you, We got friends in high up companies and higher up in the companies, and we hear the reasons why before the guys even know. You never know, guys, who's going to be in your shows. There was a UWO show in Oklahoma City, and Johnny Brooks, which is a friend of ours that works at WWE, he's in the crowd, maybe 20, 30 people. Did I go and tell everybody in the locker room? No, I didn't. That way. To all of you guys that welcomed me with open arms over the last year, thank y'all. To you fans, thank each and every one of you, because without y'all, there would not be independent pro wrestling. We thank each and every one of you. I thank all of you guys so much. Y'all welcome me in, y'all let me in the locker room, y'all let me do my thing, and y'all show me so much more respect than what I deserve. You guys are doing an amazing job of what you do, and all I ask is keep it up. Keep pushing yourselves. If you don't push yourself, nobody else does. If you don't sell yourself, nobody else is. These guys are doing a great job. Malachi, Kevin, and I owe you guys the world for what y'all doing for me right now. I bored y'all long enough. I thank y'all so much. I wished I was in here, my boots strapped up and ready to roll, but hey, I'll take what I can get right now. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Enjoy the show.